Yeah, like before I open a nap. I don't watch it. It's just like the. I think that's why. It's because it's the default. Okay, can I get everybody's hands empty and cross? Can everybody cross your hands and get your bodies facing forward? Let's get everybody. I'm gonna wait on everybody's eyes to get up here. Jake, I can't tell him. Put your pencil down. Oh, it's Olive. Not
Sorry,
Jake.
I was.
Okay. All right. So what we're trying to do is, you guys have done all of your brainstorms. Okay. This is an older version of the same worksheet, but it's the same kind of deal. So what this kid did was then they made their proof. This is the proof. So you can see here, this kid didn't cut theirs out like Haley did. So this is Haley's front cover. It's around about the same size. It looks like Haley's is a little bit bigger. And it just depends on your sketchbook. Okay. Here's another example of proof. So proof is just a line drawing. I can see evidence of things that aren't perfect, but everything's cleaned up. Everybody following? So you should not bring over a really rough sketch. You should bring over a great drawing that has lots of evidence of mistakes that have been erased. Does that make sense to everybody? This is just rough. So then what we do is, you guys are going to do for the front covers and back covers of your journals, what I recommend is cardstock. Okay? If you ask me where the cardstock is, I'm not going to tell you. I'm going to tell you right now where the cardstock is. Okay? So move your body. Thanks. Right here is the different kinds of papers that I leave out for students. And the top one says cardstock. Okay? So when you go in here, I'm just going to use one that's already cut to like a half sheet paper size. Actually, none are cut. I'll refill that. That's getting kind of low. What's half of 11? 5.5? Is that right? Don't, you have to actually look at your journal, because oftentimes the covers are slightly larger than the inside paper. Does that make sense? That way the inside paper has a little bit of a buffer. Okay? So I've got her thing here. So what I'm going to do is, and I like this to line up perfectly with those holes. Okay? So it looks like to me I've got to cut off a little bit more of this. So what I might do is I might just do a little line there, and then I might come back over here to the paper cutter and make it perfect, okay? The truth is that this one's a little bit too short, so I would honestly like re-go from the start, but I just want to show you, you want to get the cardstock the exact right size, because this is the final. This is the one that's getting the grade. It needs to be measured well, it needs to fit on the piece well, and eventually, once you finish your art, you're going to glue it on there really well. Everybody following? Okay. So what you guys are going to do today, once you have finished, how many of you guys have finished all of your proofs? Haley has, Lo has, Mona has. How many of you are, Sunny, how many of you are going to finish them today? That's excellent. That's where we should be, because that's what's due today. I'm looking for 3 finished drawings, 3 finished proofs. Okay. But when you're done, that doesn't mean like, oh my, you guys have 2 more A-Day Fridays before page 1 is due. Okay? So you've done all the work. It's all drawn. So what you're going to do is you're going to get your light table and you're going to plug it in and you're going to trace this perfectly and lightly. Why is it so important to trace a proof lightly? Yeah, Jai?
In case you mess up all 3 things.
Well, that's one reason. Why else? Because you're gonna, well, you don't know what media you're gonna use. Does that make sense? So I'm gonna line this up, and it looks like hers is a little bit wider than what I allowed it for. And I'm just, as lightly as humanly possible, going to take the time to draw this. Okay? Now, everybody go ahead and get out right now your journal checkoff sheet. Let's all get that out. This is the worksheet that has all of the assignments, like the requirements for this. It should be inside of your folder. Now, once you're done with your proof, and I've graded it today, you don't need it, I don't need it. However, it might be nice to keep it. Why do you think your proof might come in handy for you? Yeah.
In case you lose your final.
Well, that's true. In case you ruin or mess up your file and you need to retrace it, why else might you want your proof? Have any of you ever like made a mistake? Or like, how about instead of making a mistake, you could check it off on the proof first. Does that make, you could do little patches of trial runs on the proof, okay? So when we're looking at this today, when you get your front cover on there, you need to look at what are you able to do. Have you guys learned how to do ballpoint pen? Heck yes, you have. You could do ballpoint pen. Okay, you guys know how to do it. Have you guys learned how to use graphite pencil to shade?
No.
Yes, you have. Have you learned how to do collage? Yes, you have. Now, you guys, these are mixed media, so what you could do is you could, like let's say this Sonic-y looking character right here, maybe you trace him onto a piece of cardstock, and you draw him really cool with colored pencils using shading and value. And then maybe in the background you do collage. You could mix two or more of these together. Does that make sense? It's totally up to you. Have you guys learned how to shade with colored pencils? Yes.
Wait, so you can mix graphite pencil and
Yeah, like you could, so when I'm grading these for the final grade, I want to see enough that I get that you're a master at it. So if you decide to use colored pencil just to color in that one little bear, do you think that's giving me enough? No. But if Haley ended up doing the whole thing in pencil, except the circles here and the characters, that could really pop, right? Because everything else would be black graphite, and these circles areas would be all in color. That would really pop, and it would show me enough. Does that make sense? Yeah.
Yeah, because like what I'm trying to do is I'm just gonna like, because I want to outline the characters in ballpoint pen to make them have like a pop, and then the rest will just be in like graphite.
What I do recommend is if you're planning on using line work, you do it at the very end. Because if you accidentally shade outside the lines, if you accidentally make a mistake, then your line's in the wrong spot. I like, if you're going to do line work, I like to do that at the very last thing. Does that make sense? Okay. So we have learned how to do colored pencils. The only thing you guys have not learned yet is India ink. Okay, and we'll know that by the end of February. You'll know enough that you could use it. If we look down at the bottom for the drawing techniques, do you guys know how to make a contour drawing?
Mm-hmm.
What's a contour? Line drawing. You guys have that. You're masters. Do you guys know how to do blended shading? Yes, you do. Have we learned how to do cross hatching? Nope, that's the last thing. That's on Monday. Have we learned how to do stippling? Nope, that's on Monday. Okay. Have you learned how to do texture? Nope. That's like at the end of the week.
Almost said yes because of ceramics.
Yeah, well, that's true. Yeah. So you guys have more and more things open to you. So you need to be thinking right now, today, if you finish this proof, you need to start actually doing it. Get your colored pencils out. Get your ballpoint pen out. Ask me if you need something. If you want to get the fancy graphite pencils, if you want to get the pack of tortillions, you can absolutely get those things and start rolling. Make sense to everybody? Okay. So what's the number one priority today?
Turn in proofs.
Proofs are number one. Okay? All right, where is the cardstock? I want everyone in this room to point to the cardstock. Tell me what color the box is.
Navy.
Jai, where's the cardstock?
Over there.
Good job. Okay. Get to work, sweeties.